Welcome to our Journey Together video this week. So on Sunday, we kicked off a series all about overflow living with this good news that you and I were created to enjoy overflow living. And I got to tell you, I believe that with every ounce of my being. That God's intent for you and me is to experience what we talked about Sunday, this rich and satisfying and abundant and better than you ever dreamed possible kind of life that He intends for you and me as His sons and daughters. And so we're going to unpack that for the next 8 weeks. I just want to ask you kind of at the front end of this journey to reflect for a moment of how much is that your reality? Maybe just scale yourself on a 1 to 10 scale and think, okay, if 1 is I'm completely depleted and I'm running on fumes and overflow living is a pipe dream that seems completely unrealistic. And 10 is you are so blessed and God's goodness and love and grace and peace is overflowing in your life in so many ways you just can't imagine it being any better. Just take a moment and where are you on that journey? Just take an honest assessment for yourself. And I wonder if God might have something for us even in these brief moments and in the weeks ahead to move us steadily towards overflow living that God plans for us. So we're going to look in Psalm 130, just 1 verse 7, and there's some good news here for us. Psalm 130 verse 7 says, O Israel, hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is unfailing love. His redemption overflows. Here's a big idea. This overflow living that God has created us to enjoy is the result of this deep work of God's grace that starts at the core of who we are, and then it overflows outward to impact who we are and how we live and how we relate to other people and how we do our jobs and how we parent, everything. But it starts at the core and it works its way out to impact every other area of our lives. And so to experience overflow living, we don't run after it directly. We pursue Jesus, we talked about this Sunday, this covenant relationship, and in pursuing Him, overflow blessing is the byproduct. And so the journey is about learning how to stop trusting, to placing our hope in, as this passage says, the people and things of this world, so that our hope rests solely in Jesus. It's about opening ourselves up to God's unfailing love so that His grace can redeem and transform us from the inside out. You know, I'm all for kind of hitting the easy button on things that are really good in life. And it would be nice if we could do that with overflow living. We just say the right prayer, God, and kind of read the right scripture verse, do the magical formula, and then God just kind of zaps us. And voila, overflow living, and this is the life that you're living and dreaming of, right? But there's just no shortcut. It doesn't work that way. Overflow is an inside-out process that we give ourselves to, that God walks us through day by day. And so the deeper that we're willing to let God's grace work, the greater our experience of His overflow blessing in our lives. And so here's what I invite you to do. We can't control how God's going to decide to bless us or how blessings are going to overflow, but we can choose whether or not we're going to open ourselves up to this deeper work of God's redeeming love and grace. And so my invitation today is, what if we each pick just one area of our lives? One area of our lives, and we just say, God, I want to experience you doing something more. I want to get beneath the surface of this issue or this relationship or this dream or whatever it is. I want to get beneath the surface, God. I want to open myself up to a deeper work of your grace. One thing this week, praying into it, doing whatever it takes for you to open yourself to that deeper work. Now, I don't know what the outcome will be. I can't guarantee any overflow blessing, but what I do know is this is the only way this works, that God's redemption overflows. I'm praying that for you this week, and I am grateful to be on the journey together with you.